Hello. The Your Vision to Success podcast is intended for personal growth and storytelling. If you are experiencing a mental health emergency, please dial 988.
Wow, Christine, we're back again.
I know. Ta-da! Just like that.
Well, what are we going
Like
to talk about
magic over here.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez. What are we going to talk about today?
Well, we talked about mental health.
Yep.
So now we're going to talk about stigma and othering.
Stigma and othering.
Yes.
Okay. What does
Yes.
that mean?
So this is going to get a little bit into societal constructs.
Ooh, okay.
And how stigma exists based on bias we learn,
Okay.
and we don't even know we have it.
Oh, I love this. This is going to be a good one. Okay.
So, and it's really, the way it applies to business is that if you can't relate to your clients
Mhm.
because you have bias or you have certain perceptions and a certain set perspective on who they are based on what they look like or based on where they live or how much money they have or what age they are. I mean,
Yeah, I get it.
the variables are endless, really.
Yeah, I love it.
So,
So I have a great story
Mhm.
that relates to this. So when we first started, Angie and I first started our business,
Mhm.
we're in mobile homes. And you want to talk about there's some biases and there's some...
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're in
It's
trailer
so-
parks. We live in trailer parks.
Right. It's true.
It's true. So...
And there's assumptions made about individuals based on where they choose or where they have to live. It just,
Right.
I mean, depends, but
Yep, 100%. And our biggest clientele and our biggest customer base were 55 and over, people who are 55 and over, and a lot of Hispanic and Latino community. And I never had a problem with any of those people, but you learn how they feel people look at them. And I will tell you one thing though, those two groups don't care. It's the people who like have to buy one because of a situation, like they owned a home or they had a nice job and something happened, they had to live there for a little bit, that have that stigma, and they kind of have that icky feeling of, I gotta buy a mobile home. It's a trailer, and it's like, you just learn so much about people with stigmas and with that when I had to do it firsthand. I don't know. Does that make sense?
absolutely. And I think you are talking to self-stigma,
Oh, yeah.
which,
What does that mean?
so stigma you have as an individual about who you are as an individual. So for me, when I was diagnosed, I had self-stigma for years.
Oh, you're talking about the people who had to buy a mobile home.
Who struggled
Who
with
struggled, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I totally get it now.
Yeah,
100%. Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean too, because I dealt with that too.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you were like, why do I, like, I hate to talk about the mental health again, but
Well, yeah.
but what were you like? Was it like that? Were you like, I can't be crazy?
Yeah, it was like that. It was totally like that. And I feel that a lot of it had to do with the fear of the unknown, and also the lack of awareness about mental health before I got there. So if there's education about it, if there are discussions about it, if there is acceptance surrounding it in society, there's a lot less, I feel, in my opinion, stigma related to it.
Okay, so enough about mental health. I know
Yeah,
we
I
talked
know.
about, but let's get back on to what you were talking about.
Yeah.
So you were talking about being aware.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit more about, as a business owner, about stigmas, about that, and about how people can be aware of having that. What did you call it? Self?
Self-stigma?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're kind of, I don't want to say they're separate, but if you have self-stigma, it's really important I had to do work on myself, which is not the easiest path, but it's the path I chose to take because I wanted to learn about the why I was at where I was at. And why that's important for business owners is because if you have self-stigma as a business owner and you don't know where you're at as an individual, projecting, whether it be insecurities, whether it be insecurities is the only thing I can think of right now, but just projecting your insecurities or projecting your stuff onto other people is not always the healthiest. Well, I'm just going to label it as
No,
stuff.
I get it. No, I get it. No, I love it. No,
because I feel like everybody has their stuff.
Believe me.
So that's how I relate to it, I guess.
I love it.
Now.
Yeah.
And I think you can see, when there's conflict, sometimes it's related to the stuff you have because you see yourself in the other person and it's something you don't like about yourself.
Holy cow.
Yeah. I've obviously thought a lot about this subject, probably more than I should have.
Somebody has to, Christine. Because I sure as heck isn't. I'm not doing that. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So and I'm sure, of course, that can be, wow, it's eye-opening.
Yeah.
I had an aha moment.
That's
so
beautiful.
of course, if I don't like something about myself and I see it in somebody else, and it doesn't matter if it's an employee, if it's a partner, if it's a customer,
right?
You're gonna automatically, there's a defense mechanism or whatever that mechanism is, however you react to that.
And it can create barriers. It can create communication problems. A lot of the interaction we have with other people, if we don't take a step back from our reaction to something when it triggers us, or when it's trigger is a little bit of outdated word right now, I guess, but
it works.
It's right now what I have in my vocabulary.
It's like stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It works.
It's the official stuff. It's not the unofficial stuff. It's the official stuff that counts.
It's the word formerly known as stuff. We call that trigger.
Exactly. No, that's where I don't remember what I was going to say.
That's okay. Oh man, no. But going back to it's an aha moment. I'm serious. Holy cow! So how can we work on that? How can we identify what it is? What
your stuff or what?
Yeah. Is that tough?
It is. I mean, I've found that if I feel uncomfortable with a situation, I know something in me has been activated or triggered or whatever. Activated was what I was looking for before.
Activated, got it.
Yeah. So I know is something I need to work on, generally speaking. And if it's not something I need to work on, I will also acknowledge that and say, okay, or if I've worked on it already in therapy or whatever, professional therapy, whole nother topic. Then I acknowledge to myself, I also give myself grace in relationship to if you've taken certain lengths to work on yourself, and even if you haven't worked on yourself, that I'm not saying you're bad because you haven't. Maybe you don't even know it's an option. Because if you haven't had that conversation with anybody, or nobody's had that conversation with you, or maybe you're not naturally a person who's introspective, so you don't want to look at yourself, to each his own. Like, I'm not here to say you have to do it. I'm just saying it could be very helpful for a business owner.
For leveling up.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, imagine how many people you have inadvertently, and not that you're mean to people, but you're like, oh, I just don't want to deal with that right now. And what if that were a situation where that could have been a next, $100,000 customer or whatever, or a long-term customer, or a great employee, because you had that stigma of, oh man, imagine where that could have, you don't know.
Right. And I look at everything as a learning opportunity. If the person or the client or the employee or whoever is not overstepping a boundary, I look at it as a learning opportunity for myself to say, okay, how did I react? And if I sit with the reaction for a little while, how does that make me feel? Because if I sit with it for a minute and actually process the emotion, is it a positive or is it a negative, or how am I feeling about the situation? And I think when we went through COVID, a lot of people had to stop what they were doing because everything was basically shut down. And some people decided to take that time to use it for a purpose like that, and some people decided to distract themselves with other things. Like, it's up to the person, really, ultimately.
Jeez. Do you think, I don't know if I won, well, whatever. I'll ask it anyway.
Okay.
No, whatever. I mean, it's not really business. I guess it could be, though. But do you think this is an overall issue or thing that people can do without? I mean, the answer is yes, but do you think it would solve a lot of problems with the way we behave now as a people? We are so easily triggered. And we are so easily, I don't want to say offended. It's not that. But we're so easily combative with each other. And tribalism is part of it. But tribalism is just saying, I only want to deal with people that I want to deal with. I don't want to deal with the other people because of the stigma.
Right. Or the othering.
Right. The othering. Yeah. Talk about the othering. What is that?
So to me, and this is not the dictionary definition, but to me, othering is more, this is who I am the best, this is my truth. If somebody does not adapt or adjust or adapt, I guess adapt is the best word, adapt my truths and my perspectives, I'm going to other them. They're less than me, I guess would be the best way of putting it. So it's more so,
we all looked at a spider. There's a spider right there. Right.
So it's just a matter of, to me, it's making yourself the most important. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing necessarily, but when we stigmatize others because they are different than we are as individuals, it can really hurt business. It can really hurt relationships. It has detrimental effects on families.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
oh, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
So,
and I am not innocent of any of that. I'm guilty of all that. Like I am. We all are. Nobody's perfect with that stuff.
Right.
But it's being aware.
Yeah.
And so what can people do to be aware of it? Like what's the answer, Christine?
I don't know if there's one answer for everybody, but I think...
what I mean, not answer, but like just in the business realm, because the solving the world problems for the next episode. What can people do?
We're gonna get that done in one episode.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah, we're cruising. Hell yeah.
Right.
Well, what can people do in the business?
World peace is next, folks.
Yeah, we got it. We got to dial in.
I think the main thing is courage. You have to make the decision for yourself. And if you have the courage to learn more about yourself, you'll have the courage to learn more about others too, I feel like.
I dig that. So how can people, why is it important for people to contact you who want to deal with this?
It is all about working together, having all the voices in the room in order to achieve the best outcomes for your business. In relationship to contacting me on stigma and othering and how it impacts team dynamics and your strategic plan, just knowing that dynamics shift when you're working with different groups of people and conflict's going to happen and you have to adjust in the moment, whether that be a pause, whether that be continuing on, whatever it is. That experience of going through that is just leaps and bounds more important.
Love that. There you go. Well, Christine, how can people contact you? You want to talk more? You got more to say?
No, I don't think so.
So how can people contact you? Do you have a website?
I do. It is www.vision2Success, the number 2.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you have social media.
Yes. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. In some cases, it's YourVision2Success.
Cool. Well, thank you, Christine.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. We'll see you again next time.
Okay. The Your Vision to Success podcast is intended for personal growth and storytelling. If you are experiencing a mental health emergency, please dial 988.